Well, I discovered an old video of Mom in January 2020, so just 2 months before she passed away. She uh, described some highlights of that trip to me and one of the people who was helping to take care of her at the time. So she's 97 years old here. Some things seem a little bit mixed up, but you get basically the gist of it in her own words. So here's Annalisa talking about her bike escape.
We'll be here in 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So I said, well, we have to leave. And I told this woman with her daughter, a 16-year-old daughter, on a bike. Yeah. Fortunately, they had a bike too, and she was from the town, so she knew how to get out. And I finally convinced her that she, her daughter, and myself should leave.
And then what happened?
Well, we went out. They had bicycles too, fortunately. And we bicycled, and the German soldiers screamed at us and said, "We should stop, get into protection." So I said, let's go. And so the mother knew her way out, and we came to the river. There are lots of rivers and lakes around Berlin. And we got onto a boat, one of was sind Schleppkähne.
Like a ferry boat?
No, not very, just the opposite.
A freight boat. Freight?
Yeah. And they took us a little bit. And then we had to get off. And then the woman's husband was in a military provision place. And that's where we were aiming and got there. The soldier said, yeah, you can be in this room on the floor, on the wooden floor.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard during the night the revving up of cars. So I went outside and I saw the soldiers had three big trucks loaded up with salt. And he said, well, salt, if you don't have electricity or anything else, you preserve with salt. And I said, you have to take us. Well, where do you go? North. Yeah, that's where we were. I wanted to go up to close to the Danish border. We had friends there.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman with her daughter, her husband was in a hospital, right in a border hospital. So I finally convinced her because of that we should go, that she should go too. And gosh, was that
What did the soldiers say when you said you wanted to go on the trucks?
we can do it, but they were not allowed to it. I said, well, I threw myself under your car if you don't take us. You have to take us. Do you want us to be taken by the Russians? Well, they took us, of course.
Ah.
And I was in one car, the woman in another, and the daughter in the other. And I made sure that my bicycle was in my car. I remember that was so very carefully.
And what did you see along the roads when they were driving you?
Oh gosh, this was terrible. There was concentration camp were all open, and there were the poor people, you know.
Yep.
Then those uniforms, it was miserable. I got it, because we didn't see those things before that.
Right.
It was Nazi Germany. It was terrible. Well, we got away. It took us a week
A week.
to bicycle up to the north. And we came. Oh, the first night, it was a farm. And I went up to the farm woman and said, I have some flour, can you sell us some milk and make a flour soup with milk? No, she didn't have any milk. A farm.
Huh.
I mean, she was a nasty, unpleasant woman. And where can we sleep? We're down there in the sheep barn. So we slept with the sheep.
Oh my.
I have slept with everything. Yeah, so we did sleep there in the morning. We were kissed awake by a little lamb.
Aw.
And then the next night, I remember one night a woman took us in and we slept on the floor, and we let the mother sleep on the sofa, and the 16-year-old girl, and I was just a few years older, we slept on the floor. And then the next night, they had made the schools open and put straw in there, so we slept up straw in I remember one school wasn't very nice, not very clean, but gosh, you were glad if you could be inside someplace.
Oh yeah.
Well, I said, war is not for people, or not for anybody else. It was terrible.